Today we are going to solve this problem, difference between ones and zeros in the row and column. So I will be explaining the problem statement here. Basically, we will be given a input as m cross n matrix, okay, and we need to return the same m cross n as an output. So this particular matrix is going to hold on binary representations, that is nothing but ones and zero. So basically what we need to do is, so let's assume if our input is something like this, 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0. Let's assume, okay, if this is the input, how our output should look like is number of ones in the row, number of ones in the row. Let's assume that we call ones row of ith row, plus number of ones in the column that we call as ones call of I, minus number of zeros in the first row, that is nothing but ith row. So zeros row of I minus number of zeros in the jth column. Okay, that is nothing but zeros call of jth column. So how many ones are there in the first row? That is nothing but, let's assume I is 0, j is 0 for this explanation. So number of ones in the zeroth row, that is nothing but 2, plus number of ones in the zeroth column here, that is nothing but 1, minus number of zeros in the zeroth row, that is nothing but this only 1, minus number of zeros in the zeroth column, that is nothing but 2. So what is your output? 2 2 get cancelled, 1 1 get cancelled, 0. So your output of diff ij, okay, where I is 0, j is 0, the value is going to be the 0. How this value derived? Using these conditions, okay, using this particular values. So like this, we need to fill m cross m matrix and we need to return that as a output. We call it as a diff matrix, just a naming convention in the code. So that's all the problem statement. Okay, I request you to go through the problem statement also. So the same I explained in the diagrammatic way. So how we can solve this one? So as I said, if my matrix is 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 1, let's assume this is, so there are n rows m columns. So let's assume if there are x number of ones in a ith row. Okay, so how you can know about the zeros? It's too simple, right? M minus x, which returns you number of zeros in that particular ith row, right? So let's assume here number of ones in this row, zeroth row, is 1. So what is the m value? 3. 3 minus 1, that is nothing but 2, right? You got number of 0. So we only focus on calculating ones for both row and column. Okay, we don't calculate zeros. We directly take the value of 0 by substituting this formula while filling into the output. Okay, so this way, even it's same for number of ones in the column also. Let's assume this is y. Okay, y is number of ones in the jth column. So how you can derive number of zeros in the jth column? N minus y, right? Where n is 3. Here let's take 1, right? Number of ones in this jth column, that is zeroth column, and 3 minus 1, that is nothing but 2. That's it. It given you the correct. So like this, we are going to fill data for all m cross n elements, cells, whatever. So what is the time complexity? So big of n into m, first to iterate through this particular one to calculate number of ones. Okay, plus big of n into m to iterate through the same output array to fill the data, right? So on a thing, it's big of uh, n into m, where we ignore constant. So what is the space complexity? Big of n plus m, right? Where n is the number of rows, m is the number of columns. So that's all for this explanation. Let's quickly go and execute the program. So to save some time here, so I'm going to retrieve my last submitted one. Okay, I quickly explain. So I'm representing n number of rows, m number of columns, So rows and columns are two different arrays. Basically, I'm taking this to track the number of ones in the each row and each column. I'm again repeating number of ones only I'm going to calculate. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm iterating through the two-dimensional array. So here rows of I plus plus equals to grid of I plus 1. So rows of I initially 0. All right. So basically, when you're creating this, so by default all zero. So here, grid of I, grid of j is similar to this one. Okay. Let's assume if grid of I, j equal to 1, take 1, else 0. So whatever I wrote is going to do this only. I am taking directly grid of I, j because if the value is 1, then only it incremented number of ones count. Otherwise, 0 will be added to whatever the existing value, right? So that's the reason for row and column I'm calculating, and I'm creating a different matrix of same size n into n, and as I said, I'm iterating through that one also, and for every ith and jth cell, so I'm taking rows of I, cols of I minus m into rows of I. This is what I explained here to calculate number of zeros in particular row, to calculate number of zeros in that particular column. So n minus cols of j. So and it then return diff. So let me submit this. So yeah, it took 11 milliseconds and it got submitted successfully. Thanks all for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to tap the bell icon so that you won't miss updates from my end whenever I upload a new video. Till the next video, bye bye, take care.